Hi, Suresh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, wow, we have people joining in, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, everyone, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up in the comment section so we know that we're not talking to ourselves. I'll repeat that. If you can hear us, please give us a thumbs up in the comment section. Thank you, Swaran. Hi, Priyadarshini. Thank you, Arun. Okay, great. Everyone can hear us. Okay, so we can get started then. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Book Talk. This week we have with us the one and only Suresh Eriyat. So good to have you here, Suresh. I'm really excited to talk to you about your latest book with Tulika, which is, of course, P.N.K.Panicker's Ghost Stories.
Right. Yeah, I was too excited, Sangeeta, to share the backstories with everyone. We haven't, we have had some good openings of the book, but haven't had a chance to talk to everyone and share the the whole idea of the book and how it has come about. So, looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, definitely. I think we're going to definitely dive into that. But, I mean, first of all, for those who may not know, but I think most people know this, this book is an adaptation of Suresh's animated film, Candid in Malayalam. And, it was a national award winning animated film. And, of course, Tulika kind of approached you to adapt this into a graphic novel. So, how did you kind of receive that? What was, your whole idea of, oh, this being done as a book?
Okay, I'll give you a bit of a background. So, this is based on a real conversation with my father,
Oh, okay.
and my father is a tall storyteller,
Okay.
and uh, I didn't realize it till I was 40. I mean, I turned 50 a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
1 year ago, and till around 40, I used to think that he's whatever he used to tell me about the ghosts that he has seen are like hyper real, because
Okay.
the explanation was also so vivid and so amazingly uh, descriptive that I was pretty sure that all the ghosts existed, the spirits existed. And I recorded one sneakily on my phone, conversation that I had with my father. I kept asking him questions about how, yeah, എങ്ങനെയിരിക്കും. So he would say that he's like this, he's got an elephant-like body, he's got a pig-like snout, and and he has a tail with fire, etc. So he gives such a vivid explanation, and so you just can't. And he even told me the time and the place that he saw the ghosts. So it was
Okay.
like unbelievable that you can't like suspect that it could be a story. But once I realized it's a story, then it was I wanted to make it into a film, and this interview I had documented quite a few years ago, in to be precise, in 2015.
Okay.
And then I got then there was this young girl, Aditi Krishnadas, from NID, who came up to me, and knowing that I'm toying with a story like this, she wanted to make a. She said she would love to collaborate with me on this. And at one point in time, I wanted to use my father's footage and use animation only for the all the sections for the ghosts. But when she designed the character of my father, and I said, "Wow, this looks exactly like him." And in fact, it has the personalities coming out so greatly that I would like to go ahead with a completely animation film. So that's how I decided to go and do this film in complete animation. And Aditi Krishnadas is the director of the film. She was just 22 when she started working on it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it took 2 years to make this film.
Yeah.
It's an 18 to 19 months long process to make this film. So I mean, I just want everyone to know that
Of
it was
course,
not
yeah.
something that it is an animation film painstakingly animated and created during the COVID.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It didn't make it any easy. And we had amazing music director Nandu Karta who gave the music for it, and Rasool, Oscar-winning sound designer Rasool Pukuti who gave the
Yeah.
sound design for the film. And it became a rage amongst the Malayalis, especially because it's so language independent. Uh, that that's when people came to know about the existence of Studio Ixoras in Kerala. That the kind of films that we made before was not something that people were not something that people were aware of. So
Mm.
moment happened in Kerala, people started following us, and then there was a massive, this is a new format of storytelling. So people really connected with it. Yeah, so that's the background story, and the book thing. Yes, the um, when Radhika Tulika approached me, and I was pretty reluctant about it because I wanted to make sure that this book comes across exactly the way I
Yeah.
wanted it to come, like really, like beautifully crafted, designed book. So that's how I wanted it to happen, and so it took a bit of a time for me to like really decide
Yeah.
whether it is something that I can go ahead with, because I know book production includes a lot of logistics. Sometimes for the volume, the quality is compromised, etc. But Tulika being Tulika, they were pretty aware of this and conscious about the quality that I was looking at, and that sort of guarantee I got, and then we were kind of ready to embark on the journey together.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, that's
no,
that's
and
long and short of it. Yeah.
yeah, no, but also, kind of coming to obviously, adapting it from essentially screen to page, in a way, was it challenging to kind of, because, and of course, working with Aditi again on the book as well, how was it to kind of, I guess, translate, I guess, what your father saw? I mean, one, you worked on her to translate that onto screen, but then to now put that into a book format, what was that like? Did you go through a lot of iterations? Did you show your father any of the spreads while making it? What was that process like?
My father was not at all privy to any of these processes. So
Okay.
even when he didn't not aware that we are making a film based on his stories. So he was taken by surprise when we screened it. In fact, Aditi hadn't even seen my father
Okay.
till it was made. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so of course I had taken the footages on video, but she saw him like that. But when she saw him first time, which was probably after 6 years of me recording that video of him.
Mm.
So, I mean, it was pretty surprising. And the moment she saw my father, she said, "Yeah, he's quite like what I drew." So, so that was quite nice to hear. And then when we embarked on this journey of the book, yeah, when we worked with Tulika, see, it's very unlike the book that Tulika has worked on in terms
Yeah.
of the graphic layout and things. So, and we had a vision about it, and so there was a few times when it was designed and it came back to me. I was like, no, 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 we need to like really design it beautifully. The typefaces have to be done amazingly. The layout has to be beautiful. It needs to evolve. And then we got a very young designer from Sushti who called Elisha Ferreira. So she came on board, and she got very excited by the project. She's also an illustrator.
Okay.
That I felt that is an advantage for someone to design this book, because understanding illustration is very imperative for getting the quality
Mm.
right. Got onto the journey, and then we took it together. I mean, she used to do the layout. She used to show it to me. There was a lot of back and forth. Aditi would see it. I would see it. The studio, we have a
Yeah.
full house of creative designers in Bombay, and they would all look at it very judgmentally. And so Elisha had to like really um, go through the task in the beginning. She came up with a lot of interesting design, which we had to like kind of look at uh, other constraints like production, etc.,
Mm.
and then eventually came down to a structure like that.
Yeah. But then then also, do you have any favorite, spreads or chapters specifically from the book that you really love that, oh yes, like this is my absolute favorite?
I I quite like Arugula because
Okay.
Arugula is one sequence we looked at pretty in detail. In fact, I if you ask me, I mean honestly, there are everything is some all those pages that have gone into print are something that I have approved and I have loved. So it's very difficult for me to give you a special preference, but I can definitely tell you that Arugula is one sequence that has come out pretty interestingly. And we had a lot of different options in terms of layout. While you must understand, Inambichi is the most
Yeah.
elaborate, long uh, sequence. Even in the film, it was the longest. So that, but Arugala has really come about the way in a very lovely way.
Yeah. I don't know if I can maybe show one of the spreads. I just took it
I,
out to kind of.
don't know,
Oh, okay.
if you look at, there
Yeah.
are some cases where you see Arugala scream, and then it's pretty animated uh, in a book space. So see, so like how you can see my
Yeah.
father's hair standing up, and so then it kind of
Yeah.
animates in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
So um, and there are several interesting you know
Yeah.
portrayal. Some illustrations are very new, which is not there in the film,
Mm.
uh, and all these
Yeah.
like yeah, they're pretty interesting. So I like this whole thing of the book kind of narrowing down and then it opens
Mm.
out into a big world, and so the
Yeah.
whole journey is really interesting. So you need to like kind of go like that, like that, like that, and then you kind of open. It's almost like you go into a cave and then you come out into this vast expanse of space. So we wanted every page to have a motivation to be flipped,
Mm.
and so you go to the end of the page. It needs to like uh, turn out in something that opens out and gives you enough satisfaction and gratification when you open the book. So every page was kind of planned like that. So every flip needs to yield a sort of gratification for the viewer, for the reader. So
Yeah.
that we can't achieve in a movie,
Yeah.
because in a movie you're continuously flowing in a
Yeah.
linear fashion.
Yeah.
A book really allows you to kind of go back and forth. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can dwell into it. Uh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, because that was something when I was curious about, in terms of, because like you said, a book and a film are two very different formats. So to kind of adapt the same set of stories, and I completely agree. I think with the beauty of a book is you kind of can take more time with it and kind of go back and forth. Whereas with a film, it is very linear. You're kind of okay, you follow and it kind of lingers, and you can again maybe watch it again later. But yeah, I think both are extremely lovely formats. I think my favorite chapter and spread is the Kutti chapter. I
Kuttichathan.
love this chapter.
Kuttichathan.
Yeah.
Kuttichathan is his most favorite for many people.
Yeah.
Um, because I think the trio, the way they kind of get into an agreement and everything, it's really I think it is the only ghost who kind of has a friendly agreement with humans. All the others kind of staying away and kind of scaring people. Uh, so they are not; these guys are not intimidating to the friend, so-called friend who is bribing them to do the naughty things. So I think Jathan comes across as like very adorable set of characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other interesting thing is because I know you mentioned this in an interview recently, a print interview, where you said that these stories are a mashup of harmless lies and unbelievable exaggerations. And of course, they're from your father. So, which ghosts are actually drawn from local, say, folklore myths, and which ones did he actually like make up completely, are like imagined?
I it's very tough. My father is difficult to, kind of hold on to and make him say that what is something that he's heard and what is not real and stuff like that. If you ask him, he says everything is real. There is no way you can catch him unawares, where you kind of ask him that, but isn't that like a thing that you made up just now? He would never agree, and he's been very consistent about it. And of course, these ghosts are known. Anamarda is not something that I've heard too much. Arugala is very well known. Tendan is not such a popular guy. I mean, like I'm right now in Kochi, Tripunithura, but normally, I mean, like I'm based in Mumbai, but I'm right now in Tripunithura. Tripunithura is the place where my father saw Tendan, and
Oh,
I remember
okay.
every day when he saw Tendan, he came back like trembling with fear. He was like, I saw this man, and he went very early in the morning to a temple, and when he was coming back, he saw this man with the fire like that, like a huge guy with a long beard and everything. So it was like big, and I mean, we used to get chills when we used to go in front of those temples after that, because the way he was
Talking
descriptive
about
of,
it.
it's like crazy. Now, if you ask him, even now, sometimes he gets so emotional. He sometimes, sheds tears and all, because he gets so devotional.
Oh,
Because he
wow.
said, I've seen it, and what are you talking about? So it's very tough.
Yeah, but I think, your father, Mr. Pankar, is now an icon in himself since the video, since the film, and now the book, of course. In fact, we were having this discussion earlier about how at the Bangalore launch, he had quite a fan following
And
at the launch.
he was really nice enough to take the trouble. He's 95 years old.
Yeah.
He's 95 years old, and he came all the way to Bangalore from Kochi by a flight, and then traveling to BIC. He was patient to sit through the entire opening, and then there were people who were actually, there was some 200-300 people who queued up
Wow.
for his signature on the book. On the opening day itself, we there were some 300 books that just went in a that because he was signing and we were all drawing and whatever. So it was like a very amazing opening, and he also spoke to the people. Uh, yeah, he spoke to people. He started giving them some answers to their questions, and it was unbelievable. The way he was also like really so crisp and clear, like his storytelling. Is very very amazing.
Yeah, no, but that's really incredible that he's able to, like, even at this age he has that sort of pull, and he's able to tell his stories and whatnot. Did you show him the book? Like, what was his reaction to it?
He loved the book. So when he looks at it, he just looks at it like that, and like he will just laugh like that to himself. So I've seen that at some point he doesn't he laughs at the whole idea of him becoming a character and people acknowledging him, etc. But he also likes the kind of love and affection that he's getting. I was the day before yesterday. I was I mean, like this weekend, I was in Madhubhumi Literature Festival, and I was talking about this film, and there was like a big whistle and uproar of emotions when there was a mention of this film, and so many people came and said, "Please tell, give our warm regards to Apupan and this and that," and everyone. So so yeah, he when I came and told him that yeah, I always report back to him that people have sent you a lot of love.
Oh, but that's so sweet, and I think obviously, I mean, it is his sort of stories, and he is the protagonist, and he is quite iconic, like I mentioned. But what is your take in terms of, I guess, how children today are kind of relating to stories like this, because they do kind of have like an old world charm in a way, because it is kind of set in a time which is from your father's time, which is technically not today. But how do you see kids relating to that?
See, the deal with children, especially with this film, the way people have loved this film, it's all really young people.
Yeah.
the Gen Z, others who love the film, and which is something that we never expected to happen, because we thought, people of a slightly older generation may relate with it, but the fact of the matter is, I think children really miss
Yeah.
grandparents. There are there is a dearth of these amazing folklores and storytelling from their grandparents. It is they're not there with them
Yeah.
anymore. So it's always this nuclear family setup where busy parents are and children in cities, and they don't have any time to hear stories, listen to stories, and so that since the nostalgia or the FOMO, and all those things have kind of made people latch on to these stories like crazy. And I think grandfathers and grandmothers can make a huge comeback now.
Yeah.
We set a stage for them to make a comeback because the children are really bored of their parents and they really want some real storytelling coming from the grandparents. I think also that it is really heartwarming to see that people adore such stories. Yeah, for us, that was one of the biggest surprises.
Yeah, no, for sure, because it's really transcended for sure. But on that note, finally, what's the most memorable thing, say, a child has said to you about these stories?
Um, in, see, in my childhood, see all these spaces that he has taken us, and along with that, he kind of set a context with these stories. They have become pretty inseparable in that sense. Those contexts have become so ingrained in my mind. I see a space, when I see a place, when it, like in my father's place in Sertala has Kalari and other places where they used to teach the martial arts. So they all uh, those sort of places have become pretty much inseparable with these stories. I mean, the place has changed. Like how I've written in the book also. One drawing I made. I don't know whether you've seen this.
Yeah, yeah.
So this drawing, this was way back in when I was a child. Um, he was telling that that's where he saw, and even now I've become a big guy, and his whole temple premises have changed. And that time also, he's very consistent in his storytelling. He says, "Yeah, that's exactly where I saw him." So, that way, he's like really champion
Yeah.
in his, and he just made those places special for him.
Yeah. But
A lot of functions, lot of ceremonies, very special because of his story attached to them.
yeah. Yeah. No, but have kids come up and said things to you about these stories? Like, has a child like read it or seen the movie and come to you and said something that, oh my God, that this is amazing, or I never thought of this? Like, is there anything, they've said to you?
I'm sorry, Sangeeta, I lost you somewhere. I don't know whether it's
Oh,
my,
okay. Sorry, sorry. Can you hear me?
or I can hear you, but you're getting a
Oh,
little truncated.
oh, okay. No, no, I was asking, is there anything that any child has maybe said to you about these stories?
Oh,
Like a compliment
so,
or something
so
funny?
so many of them have drawn, animated, sang songs, and they have sent so many videos, such endearing videos and cards and things we've received. It's crazy. I mean, like we received love about this film, and for him, for my father, we received so much from people, and it's really heartwarming.
Oh, oh, but that's so sweet. And yeah, I hope this reaches more children because it's a very sweet, entertaining, and really like, fun set of stories to read for sure. And if you love folklore and ghosts, I think people should pick it up. Even like the illustrations are so beautifully done. So thank you so much, Suresh, for taking the time and doing this. And if you've not picked up a copy of this book yet, please go to the Tulika website and do so. Thank you so much for being here, Suresh.
It's something that we painstakingly designed. So it is every single page is beautifully crafted to my satisfaction. So it is absolutely worth your purchase, and you will be able to like really go through it many times. There are so much of
Yeah.
details, and yeah, it won't be a bad decision.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think
Yeah,
it's one of those graphic novels you just need to pick up for sure, regardless of what age you are, I think.
yeah. I think
But
that's all. And all of you have a lovely evening. There were many comments. I've read through them. Thank you. Somebody asked me my birthday. I mean, I'm born on 26th November 1973. Uh, and there were some other comments also. I didn't want to get distracted but I read all through them. Thank you so much for all the love, all of you, and see you soon.
thank you so much. Bye.